Hello and welcome to another Imp video. Today this one is an 1150cc full race Imp engine, and it's not often that I get asked to do a sort of no limits, just do the right thing, get the right parts, let's have a proper job, you know. And this customer is abroad, so we've got to make sure that this engine will be dyno tested, and ideally I'd like to do a race in the car, or at least a test of some form, so we can put some time on it, just to make sure we've got no oil or water leaks, etc., and it's doing exactly what it says on the tin. So I'm just going to start by going through a few of the parts on it, because I get quite excited when I see lots of shiny bits. To start with, it's just got a normal high capacity sump, bit boring, front cover, sump plate, seen all that, lightweight starter. Here, this is like my favorite type of engine. This is an 1150, so it's on a small bore, 72.5 mil, so we've got plenty of land for the liners to, you know, stay in one piece, and obviously good sealing land as well around the wheel rings, so it all holds together really well. It's on a forged piston with an arrow longer connecting rod and a Farndon steel crankshaft. All inside a Talbot Sunbeam 930 block. It's heavily modified, as you can see. Even the waterway has been modified to make it bigger. We have the spacer plate to mount the liners, and then the water passage around the outside. I'll just lift the engine up. The beauty of an Imp engine, you can lift it up and show you inside. So a bit of assembly lube running out there, but you can see the steel crankshaft, the bridges on the mains that just take some of the load. If you imagine when the car's being pushed forward and the pistons are pushing down, they're all trying to push the crankshaft out the bottom of the block. So we try and counteract that by these bridger blocks that go to the plate here, and then that helps hold the whole bottom end together, which it does quite well anyway, to be fair. But as you can see, this is a later 930 block with the extra wibs on it. Not that there's a problem with the Imp block, they work perfectly well. And then moving on to a few other bits, we've got a nice steel flywheel, nice lightweight 5.5 inch clutch runs on that to keep the inertia low, so it's nice and zippy. And here, the head, now this is a bit special, this head. This is actually one of my heads that I've used before, and it does work really well. And I wanted to try it on this customer, because this customer is knocking on the door of the Lotus Cortinas, etc., where he races yeah, I wanted to try and give him every chance to catch these guys and beat them. So we've got here, this is the steel camshaft in the aluminium carrier. Now it's all works slightly different. This head runs a longer valve, because to run this much lift on a standard Imp spring, it's not really capable. It gets itself coil bound, etc. So we run a longer spring, a longer valve, a titanium cap, and then also the spring diameter is bigger as well. So we run a 31 mil follower in this particular type of carrier, and that's why I put this out, to prompt myself to say this spacer plate basically goes on the outside of here and gives us the clearance inside the cam cover, because all this sits so much taller. Obviously it has to have a bespoke chain on it. There's lots of things that are tied in with it, but this allows us to run the lift that we want at the RPM that we want as well. Obviously you can see there the camshaft, oh, it's got a bolt in it, but it's basically, it's hollow, so you would have been able to see daylight through it if it hadn't had the bolt in the end there. Obviously we've got enormous ports. It's a sport casting, and yeah, I'm really excited to see how it goes. And we can see underneath here, you can see there one of the valves is on lift. It's got quite a lot of lift. Anyway, moving on, we've got the carburetors, and we're going to put it on a heat exchange unit for the oil cooler, so it's all integral. So all the customer's got to do is put the fuel and oil in it and connect it all up, and he should be away. These are the Lotto 45 mil. I know they look a little bit on the sort of scruffy side, but they're original carburetors. I'm not a fan of the replacement carbs. Now these also were actually my own personal carburetors, and when I was really keen on the job many moons ago, I I made it a half spindle so that it just gives it more airflow. And again, all that worked really well. Now we've got a different manifold. We've got a brand new Parry Performance 4x2x1, and these are really good. I really like these manifolds. He's a very clever kid, this Will Parry, and he's telling me how he measures the volume of each primary pipe before he assembles it, and he used some sort of wave bouncer or something to measure the reflection of the waves as they go down, and it gives him a volume, etc. And honestly, this is the best thing that's come into my Hillman tuning development program in the last 5-10 years. I think the best thing was probably the cam from Bob Jones, but the second best thing is definitely this manifold, because yeah, they really do help the engine everywhere. And it also makes these lovely silencers which keep under the 105 decibels. Obviously it's a straight through 2-inch, but it allows you to run that underneath the carburetors, so we haven't got any nasty across the back silencers or putting weight in the wrong place. So that concludes my little talk on the 1150 Dream engine. Obviously I'll put it all together, get it on the dyno, we'll get a tune out of it, maybe make another video, see if it does the right numbers, and then I'll put it in the car, maybe make another video, and then I'll put it on the YouTube for you guys to check out. But yeah, if this was a cake, then it's going to taste really good, because all the ingredients that are going to make this cake have been tasted before. And I think, you know, the most important thing with engine building is, if you're going to change any of the ingredients in your cake, you need to taste it yourself first, because you don't want to be giving your customer a bad tummy. And on that note, I'll check out.